I think the Arab media has an identity crisis, yes. We don't have an Arab media that knows what they want to give to the Arab world. In a station, I think they start stations to get money, not to educate people. Especially, I mean, talking about the private sector. The government-owned stations are mostly advertising for the regimes, not for the enlightenment of the societies.
انت حبيبي كده. هل جرت لقاءات بين المسلحين والمسؤولين العراقيين والأمريكيين أم لم تجري؟ تأكيد هنا ونفي هناك، لكن الحاصل أن الأنباء تناثرت بكل ما تحمله من تضارب.
We are in a time of crisis. This is not a normal time in the Middle East, as you can see. I'm afraid television has been, playing a negative role so far.
The Westerns are not now, they are biased and they are not exactly acting as they preach. They preach freedom, but they act against it. When it's against their own benefits, they go against freedom. But when it's good for them, it helps them, either commercially or politically, they say, no, let's go for freedom.
We're talking about freedom of speech. And this is really, you have to see, I mean, your freedom of speech probably different from my freedom of speech. So you have to understand to what limit you can go, what limit I can go. How do I understand the freedom of speech? How do you understand the freedom of speech, Because, we have really to reach common criteria. I mean, we can't apply, say, we are the Arabs, apply our rules on the others, say, well, look, I mean, they have freedom of speech stops here, and vice versa. They can't talk about the Arab media and say, no, you can't talk about this and talk about that. As long as I said, there's no call for violence, no hatred calls or anything like that,
We have freedom here. We have free information. You can speak and you can write what you need, what you want.
Education is not important. It has little to influence in the Middle East. Second, people don't spend time or they care about reading. So reading books or serious articles is something. So what they do, they rely heavily on television to be guided by television. What to do, what to think, and how to judge people. So can you imagine having radicals taking over, programs and TV stations and becoming the ones who guide us into this kind of crisis?
The Arabs talking to the Arabs. We are not giving our point of view outside. We don't have a TV station like CNN or Sky News that broadcasts to the whole world in English or in French or in other languages. So our point of view is not heard outside. It's just like preaching to the converts. We are talking to our people about what's happening in the Arab world.
Our documentary films for Arabs. We don't make something to European.
The Arab media, they didn't introduce themselves and they didn't target any other people than their own people. So when they plan for a program or for something, they don't mean the others, and they don't have the possibility to reach the other audiences. And until now, they are fighting to make, a news channel in English or in French or whatever, but they didn't make it up to now.
Many Europeans, they don't know Arab. They don't know Arabic language. They need an English language. About that, Al Jazeera is very intelligent people. They're launching English channel to European people. It's a good step.
The Arab world should have a TV station that speaks in English or maybe French and German to talk to these people and to convey the Arab message as good as they can so these people would understand, because the Americans or the English or the French or the German will not teach their people about the Arab world in the way that the Arabs would like.
There is two kinds of Arab media. There is a media belong to the governments, And these also are trying now to be more open. But the other side of the Arab media is the satellite TV channels. These satellite TV channels, they call themselves are independent. They are not related to any governments, and they are expressing all the opinions without any censorship. This is what they are saying. But also, there is, channels like Al Arabiya, like Al Jazeera, so many channels. But if you need a news channels, these two are the most prominent Arab news channels in the region. There is a Nile TV, but the Nile TV also you cannot call it 100% independent. It's related to the Egyptian government. But all other satellites, either completely governmental satellites, or related or in somehow with these governments.
I think the Arab media is mostly talking the same thing or giving the same message that other stations, Western stations, saying. Like now, fighting terrorism, you can find it in all the Arab stations, exactly as the United States says. But the other Arab governments doing exactly what the West wants.
Also, the Scandinavian media, they are not represented in Arab world as well. So the thing is, the interest is not there. The interest is not there to talk to the Scandinavian people, and American people, for example, they did CNN channel, and they cooperate with some other Arab channels like Channel 4, NBC4, to get some American programs to introduce it to the Arab world. But they didn't buy from us to introduce our program or to subtitle it or to translate it to the other languages and to introduce it to their. It's the problem is there.
60 Minutes or 2020, these are programs directed to the American people, but some stations started to broadcast them in their own programs to the Arab world. Sometimes these programs are good, but in most of the times they are talking about American life and American society and American problems. Why should we listen to them, and why should we follow them? Except, I don't know why, except is trying to westernize the Arab world.
In Arab TV stations, our tops, the president. After that, the vice president and the local news. This is an important thing.
The governmental channel, they start with the news related with the president or with the king. But when Al Jazeera came, they started with the most important event, the most important news. They didn't start with, they are based in Qatar. They didn't start with with the governmental or with the Qatarian Emir activities.
قناة الجزيرة أنا اشتغلت فيها تقريبا 6 سنين، كانت القناة عمرها 3 سنين أو 2.5 سنين لما جيت لها. قناة الجزيرة بمفهوم الإعلامي غيرت المفهوم الإعلامي العربي بالمنطقة العربية.
What happened in the Arab media is a major revolution, is a silent revolution. A media which owned privately, a media which can basically reach the citizen without control of governments. Really opened a major door for freedom and at least a debate in the Arab world. Before that, we have to remember that the majority of the Arab television station was owned by the government, and the people will only receive what the government approved. Now with this sort of media, a satellite station, and there's a number of them, really the truth now coming slowly to the people in the Arab world. So I believe if there is any criticism of the Arab media, it is not perfect, but certainly it is a major development in the democratization of the Arab world. And I believe any criticism might relate it to some of these stations because they're broadcasting video or picture or any material related to terrorism. But really, this is what people want. So we are not, nobody claims that the Arab media is a universal media. It is a regional media, and they have to cater for their own citizens.
Our targets, Arabs. Our mentality, Arabs. Our programs for Arabs.